Hi everyone, this is the third video in the Tailwind installation series where I explain how to install and use Tailwind CSS in 5 different ways. We will see how to integrate Tailwind CSS with PostCSS in this video. This method allows more control over your CSS build processes and the ability to include additional CSS tools when you are using build tools such as Parcel, Webpack, Rollup, etc. Here is how to get started. Here I am in my VS Code in the project directory where I want to create the project. So open your terminal and paste this command here. This command just installs all the required dependencies to use the PostCSS. Once this is done, we can initialize Tailwind by using npx tailwind css init. As you see, it created the tailwind config.js. Just like the previous method, we have to add the source folder to the content of this. So by that, we are specifying the project to look for the tailwind classes in this particular path. So the HTML, JavaScript, input files, everything we have to put it in the source folder. So let's save it. I have two commas here. And in this method, additionally, you have to create a PostCSS file and add the configuration to that. So let's do that. New file, postcss.config.js, and here you have to add a little piece of code. So this is just a way of telling PostCSS to use Tailwind CSS and auto prefixer during the build process. Let's save it. Now let's go to package.json and add a build script here. We can also use directly here, but to keep things simple, and we have already seen the other way in the previous video, so we will add the build script directly to the package.json, so we can just use npm run build to build the css. So I'll use scripts build css and then this command. Now let's save this. So what this specifies is we are looking for styles.css in the source folder, and then we will generate a styles.css in the dist folder. Dist folder is just a common practice to have it when using PostCSS. It's not mandatory. You can still use source and then just change, instead of styles you can give something like output.css so that these don't have the same name. So let's create new folder with source, and here we will use the styles.css and add the tailwind directives here. Save it. Then we'll create another folder, dist, and just keep it. And in the source we'll create the HTML file, because in the tailwind config we are telling it to look in the source folder for the HTML file. Otherwise, if you want to add somewhere else, you just need to specify that folder here. So I'll keep it simple and add here. I add something and click on go live, so we can see the output on the left. As we can see, it's working. Now we have to run the build command and then import the generated output file in this HTML file. So npm run build css. Let's import the generated styles.css. In the dist folder, styles.css. Let's save it, and you can see the font changed, which is saying that Tailwind CSS is being applied. Just to double check, let's add some styling. And now let's build this again. And you can see the Tailwind CSS is applied. So in order to avoid building every time, what you need to do, you might have guessed, you just need to add the watch flag in the package.json to this command. So watch. Now you run the command again. So this will run the command and it will keep watching for the changes. So let's add something to see if it detects something. So text style change to white, and you can see the text change to white. So that's how we do it. Using Tailwind CSS with PostCSS is recommended for projects that require advanced CSS processing and integration with other CSS tools. In the next video, we will see how to integrate Tailwind CSS in front-end frameworks. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.